Julie and Doug Carroll. We are the Carroll team over at Ruoff Mortgage corporate headquarters today. Beautiful sunny day, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We are live. Welcome, welcome. We are here to talk about something very exciting.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking how they can buy a home with zero money out of pocket, zero money down, and there's lots of talk, especially lately. There's a lot of chipper and batter about this $20,000 grant. It is a true thing, but when something sounds too good to be true, it generally is not going to work for most people.
Right.
So we wanted to bring a Ruoff specific product.
Yeah. It's coincidental. We've had this program. It's called the Ruoff Home Now. It's an FHA down payment assistance program. We've had it for a couple of years, I believe.
Yeah.
But just recently, like somewhat coincidental, we started seeing these posts on, all over Facebook about $20,000, and nobody really talks about how small of a box it is that people qualify for. So somewhat coincidentally, Ruoff has been working on expanding the guidelines on our Home Now down payment assistance program a lot. Like it is one of the most aggressive down payment assistance programs on the market. Guarantee it. Yep.
So essentially, I'll give like the broad explanation, and then Doug's going to get into some of the kind of the nitty gritty details. So essentially what it is for FHA, the minimum down payment is 3.5%. Mm-hmm. So on a $100,000 home, that would equal $3,500. Mm-hmm. Well, this Home Now Ruoff specific program allows you to do a regular FHA like normal, as if you had your own down payment, but that 3.5%, or he'll go over a little more details on this expansion because it is a little different now. But the other part, the down payment, you're essentially taking out like a second loan. So people ask all the time, can I just borrow the down payment? Can you just roll that into the loan? And we've always had to say, no, you have to have a down payment. Sure. But essentially, this kind of gives a yes for that, because you have a first mortgage, which is just like normal, and then you have a second mortgage, which is why this Home Now is so unique. And you make payments on both, which there's no down payment assistance program that has you knocking down that second mortgage while you have it open. They just want it due in full when you sell the house.
Yeah, not to my knowledge, not to our knowledge, right? There might be some, but most of the ones that are available out there do not have that feature, and they are, well, we'll talk about Indiana Housing as an example that's kind of done a different way, and why the Home Now program is much more advantageous.
Yeah. So the Home Now has expanded guidelines that were just released last week.
Last week, and I put something on Facebook and sent out some messages yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. So go ahead and talk about those.
Okay.
Nice little advantages.
Well, can I use the whiteboard?
Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna grab a drink of water. Julie's gonna. Oh, thank you. There we go. Thank you. And then also monitor if there's any questions or anything. We'll be able to get to those. Okay. Can we see the whiteboard?
Just go.
So we've got the Ruoff Home Now down payment assistance program. I'm going to compare it in some ways to Indiana Housing. Okay. The $20,000 grant thing from Federal Home Loan, that one, it's for first-time home buyers. Okay, first-time home buyers. This one is not. Home Now. Don't need to be a first-time home buyer. Okay, so that's very important. More or less anybody who qualifies for an FHA loan right now, as long as their debt ratios are below 55%, will qualify for this Home Now program. Don't need to be first-time buyer. So that's huge. Opens it up a lot. Opens it up a lot over that grant program. Credit score. Indiana Housing, you don't necessarily need to be a first-time home buyer either. Okay? So I'm just going to put same for that. As far as credit score goes, 600 minimum credit score for our Home Now. It used to be 620. We've lowered it to 600. Indiana Housing, Julie?
640.
640. I know one of the things about the grant program and Indiana Housing both, they have somewhat restrictive income limits, which knock a lot of people out. You know, I get it. You know, Indiana Housing's providing down payment assistance. You don't want people making $1 million a year necessarily to be able to get down payment assistance when other people could benefit from it more. But our Home Now program, no income limits. So you literally could make $1 million a year and still be able to qualify for this program. No income limits on this program. Oh, I will add here, for manufactured homes, $620. So you can do manufactured home FHA loan with this program as well. One of the key things that we've improved or expanded on this program is the down payment assistance amount. Before, it was 3.5%. Now, we provide 5% down payment assistance. So, that 5%, as Julie mentioned, the down payment required on an FHA loan is 3.5%. So our 5% down payment assistance is going to cover the 3.5% down payment plus 1.5% to help cover some of the closing costs. Indiana Housing, that's one of the things that we would, before, one of the things that was an advantage for the Indiana Housing that we would use that over the Home Now is that Indiana Housing on their first step program, 6% assistance to cover 3.5% of the down payment and another 2.5% towards closing cost. At 6% versus our old 3.5%, that used to be kind of the deciding factor of why we would go Indiana Housing for some folks as opposed to the Home Now. Now that it's 5% compared to their 6%, it makes it really close, and a little bit of seller concessions asked for on the purchase agreement would basically get us to an even spot on that. Last thing that I'll mention, because we want to keep this relatively quick, is that Indiana Housing, when I first started at Ruoff and we were doing Indiana Housing, I want to say it was 3 years. 3 years that the down payment assistance was forgivable after 3 years. Am I crazy on that? It was 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. And then they changed it a few years ago to 9 years. And then what, a year? Maybe 2 years ago, they changed it to all 30 years. So the down payment assistance that your clients are getting, they've got to pay that back for the entire 30 years. So it is never forgivable. They always owe that back if they go to refinance or to sell the home. With our program, like Julie was talking about, our down payment assistance of 5% is going to be in the form of a second mortgage that is amortized for 10 years, 10-year fixed. So they will be making a small payment on that monthly, but it is going to be going away the longer that they're in the home. So eventually it will go away because they will have paid it, whereas Indiana Housing, they're always going to have that hanging over their head that they're going to owe that 6% back. So our Home Now program, Ruoff, Home Now, FHA, pretty much any client that you have that is FHA, as long as their debt ratios are below 55%, which is pretty darn aggressive, they would likely qualify for this Home Now to get 5% down payment assistance, and we're happy to help. Julie, anything to add?
I would say, sorry, I wasn't planning on moving the stand here. So just remember that this is an opportunity where you can buy for zero money out of pocket. So it's 5% that you get as a second loan. The second loan interest rate is 2% higher than the whatever rate you qualify for on the regular FHA portion. But remember, don't let the interest rate scare you. We're not talking about a huge amount of money on a loan, so it's a minimal payment. They can pay it back, or they make payments on it.
So if their first mortgage is 7, then the second mortgage, the 10-year fixed, is going to be at 9%. Correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. So the nice thing about it is you're still going to have a balance of closing costs, but you can ask the seller to pay those, negotiate those in if possible. But no matter what, it does save money. So just something to keep in mind. It is a not so new product, but new expansive product. And we love it. Down payment assistance is available out there. You just have to ask questions and find that right lender. So.
Yeah, and in the market that we've been in for the last couple of years with interest rates elevated, a lot of the folks who are already own a home, let's say they own their $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 home and they've got a 3 to 4% interest rate, a lot of those folks are not moving. So we have seen a definite uptick in the percentage of our clients being first-time buyers or folks who need assistance. They need some kind of a down payment assistance. They don't have a lot of money. So this is that program right there.
Yeah. So let us know if you want more information. If you have a client that has questions about it, we're here to answer that. Our cell phone number is 260-460-7552 and 260-602-9768. You can find those anywhere online if you Google Doug Carroll or Julie Carroll at Ruoff. Thanks for your time today.
See you.